My Birkin. Another Birkin. But what makes these two Birkins different?
If you're an aspiring photographer, a content creator, honestly, anyone that just wants to press the shutter button, we need to have a conversation. It has come to my attention that with the bombardment of so many new cameras being released onto the market every year, many of you just want to buy the newest and most expensive gear. Yet you don't know the fundamentals of what you're buying. A tale as old as time, every marketer's dream. I have a specific example. For instance, I was scrolling and this beauty creator that shows up on my feed from time to time was talking about how she leveled up her set because she wanted a more professional look that a camera can give. And that's great. What caught my attention though was when she was listing off her new gear, like she got the Sony FX3. Bougie, yeah? One of her lenses was an 11mm f1.8. And she mentioned it gave a weird crop and showed how it vignetted. Me as a photographer immediately clocked why that was happening. I was reading through the comments to see if anyone was going to point out what the issue was. So, do you know what the problem was? The problem was the 11mm is an APS-C lens and her camera has a full-frame sensor. In many camera manufacturers today, there are full-frame lines and then there's also an APS-C line. There's a difference in price, weight, body. I'm pretty certain that creator bought the 11mm thinking it was for full frame because she doesn't understand the difference, point blank period. For Sony specifically, both lines are E-mount systems, so you can interchange between both of them. However, full frame lenses are FE and APS-C lenses are E. I know, what the fuck, it's confusing as hell. Now, the full frame cameras do have an APS-C mode, so it is possible to just use the lens with it. But there is a major quality loss. You're not using it to its optimal potential, you're just not.
Without getting too technical, if you know anything about crop factor, Sony's APS-C sensors have a crop factor of 1.5. This means that when you use a lens like the 11mm f1.8 on a full-frame sensor, its effective focal length is actually 16.5mm and the aperture is f2.7. The f1.8 aperture remains 1.8 in terms of light gathering ability, but the depth of field characteristics would be different. The closest prime full-frame lens with a low aperture near 16mm is the 14mm f1.8 G Master.
So next time when you're shopping for your new and shiny expensive camera gear, make sure you thoroughly research and understand what you're actually buying. Capiche?